The only word I can use is chaotic. It was a chaotic scene at the White House yesterday. The President was meeting with Britain's Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. Now, when Johnson asked if he could take a few questions from the British press, look what happened. Roll it.
Would it be okay if we just have a couple of questions, just a couple of questions?
Luck.
That's the.
British reporters get questions.
There we go again. His handlers would not let him anywhere near question time from the press. Nigel Farage, I know he's laughing, but he's with us now. What do you think Boris made of Biden's inability to answer questions?
Well, I mean, the whole press conference, the whole scene was unprofessional, at times inaudible, because they were wearing their face masks. It was difficult to work out what they were actually saying. But I don't know how shocked Boris was, but the country over here on this side of the pond can't believe that the leader of the free world, the elected president of the USA, the 46th president, is not allowed to take questions. And that's now making British media, for the first time, properly ask a question: is this man fit and capable to be the leader of America and the free world? We really are shocked because, Stuart, as you well know, in this country, prime ministers are questioned in the House of Commons openly every week at Prime Minister's Questions, which is a great piece of theatre. They're questioned by the media. They hold regular press conferences. We just can't believe that Joe Biden is not allowed to answer questions. And today we learn that even the few sentences that he spoke in that get-together were scripted for him, word by word, and read by him reading off his knee. I mean, it really is shocking that America is led by this man.
Yeah, it is indeed, Nigel. I want to turn to this mixed messaging that we're getting out of the White House. There's this mask. Have we got the mask stuff for us, please? Yeah, mask. Oh, there's mixed messaging over masks. It's coming from the White House. Vice President Harris took a picture with Boris with masks on. Then Boris and Biden took a picture with their masks on. Then the President and Prime Minister were both wearing masks again during their meeting. And then they took them off. So now they're real close to each other, no masks. This is a message for Brits. This is not how you message, is it?
No, it's incoherent. It doesn't add up. And if you juxtapose one picture with another, you ask yourself what the hell is going on. But I mean, that's the impression I get with the whole administration, that it's just all over the place, and maybe that's why it's losing support in the polls. No one quite knows what it stands for. So I have to say, you know, in terms of choreography, in terms of imagery, in terms of professionalism, I think really, you know, the Biden administration, the White House have showed themselves in a bad light. In terms of substance, well, I think what we've really learned in the last few days is that Joe Biden does not like America's closest ally. And we've been your closest ally for well over 100 years. He doesn't like us. There is no progress on a trade deal, no comprehension of what's happened with Northern Ireland effectively being cut off from the rest of the UK. And now, before Boris Johnson even gets on the plane back to London, a stab in the back as Biden announces a vaccine deal with the European Union that doesn't include the UK. So we know where we stand. We know that Biden doesn't like us. We know that he's pursuing the philosophy of Obama, which was that if we voted Brexit, as far as he was concerned, we'd be at the back of the line. And I'm sad that's where we are. And I'm sad, not just culturally, not just historically, but in business terms. You know, we are still the biggest foreign investor in the US. The US is still the biggest foreign investor in the UK. We share so much in terms of business. There's so much more we could do. And yet Joe Biden is prepared to put his own prejudice, his own globalist prejudice, ahead of the interests of American business.
Shocking. Thanks for revealing it. We appreciate that. Nigel Farage, come back anytime. Thank you very much, sir.